Hey guys, it's Erin. Today it's a little bit cold. The snow, we had probably 2 inches this morning. We have more coming this afternoon, but because of all this cold and snow, I really wanted to spend the day in the greenhouse. So we're gonna do some fun stuff in there. We're going to actually start dahlias from seed. We're going to pot up a couple things. And then I wanted to start some lettuce in a pot in the greenhouse. You can see how cold it is, and I am itching for some warmer weather and some spring green. So the lettuce that we're gonna plant or start from seed, I think will just do the trick. And I want to do just a mini greenhouse tour. There's not a lot to see out here for a February garden tour, so we'll do a greenhouse tour because there's a lot of action happening in there. Okay, now that we're in the greenhouse, I want to walk you through what we have that we're going to get done today. And then after everything gets planted, we'll get them in place, and then I will give you guys a tour of all the seedlings and everything else that we have growing in here. All right, first things first, we're going to sow these dahlia seeds. I saved these from our dahlias out in the field last season. I tried to do some hybridizing. It didn't work as well as I wanted it to, but I was just behind my timing on it. We had a bunch that did it on their own, so these seeds we're gonna pot up. I have some Victoria butter lettuce that I want to put into a pot. And then these three feverfew is everything that I had, and I want those guys to be potted up. So we're gonna use all this over here. These trays of pots is where we're gonna put all of our dahlias. They need more room than just a little normal seed tray. The feverfew will go in a couple more like that, and then I wanna use this cute little terracotta pot for the lettuce. So I'm using right now this Sunshine indoor-outdoor potting mix. That's what we're gonna use for all of these projects today. So I'm gonna set up a camera, fill these pots real quick, and then we'll talk about how to actually pot up the feverfew and what kind of conditions we need to grow them on, and then same with the dahlias and the lettuce. All right. Okay, we've got everything set up, so let's talk dahlias. Now, I did a video last fall, a couple videos about dahlia hybridizing and breeding and how you do it. I missed my window. If you saw those videos, you saw that it didn't really work out the way I had hoped and the way I have had in the past. I did, however, have some dahlias that just went to seed all on their own. I didn't have a chance to do, I didn't do my hybridizing early enough in the season to be able to get the seeds that I wanted. It was just too late. But like I said, I had some do it on their own. They were mostly, well, they were almost entirely the open face dahlias, which isn't generally what I'm looking for when I'm trying to hybridize, but they're still beautiful. So I'm gonna take these, and I have a plan for them for later in the season where I'm gonna put these, not out in my fields, but definitely in the gardens. But I just wanted to show you, after I collected the seed or the seed heads, and I took them apart and pulled out the seeds, this is what the seeds look like. These little guys, well, you can see it better in here. These little guys are all the seed from the from the seed heads that I took. I didn't take a whole lot. There was definitely more out there, but I took a few, and we have 20 pots that we're gonna pot them up in. I do want to tell you, if you are really interested in hybridizing dahlias, there's a really great book by Christine Albrecht. If you're familiar, she breeds the KAs, Christine Albrecht varieties, some of the most beautiful hybridized dahlias out there. And she's a complete expert. I'm not sure if she has a YouTube, but she has lots of reels I've seen on Instagram. But her book is called Dahlia Breeding. Definitely get that book. It's got all the details. I think Florette also has one on dahlias and hybridizing, and it's a really fun thing to do. The dahlias don't act like a lot of other plants when you try to hybridize. It's basically a crapshoot on what you're gonna get, but you can sort of push your flowers one direction or the other, but you're never really sure what you're gonna get. But like I said, these all came for the most part from open-centered, the collarette style, and just open-centered dahlias, which is great. They're still really pretty. The bees absolutely adore them. So the way that I'm gonna pot these up or plant them, I use the 4-inch pots because by the time I get to put these out into the fields or into the gardens, they're gonna start forming tubers. Believe it or not, in the next few months, these guys will start forming tubers, and they're gonna need a lot of room. They would not survive more than, a few weeks in a regular seed cell or seed tray. I've done this with 2-inch pots, and those work fairly well, but I'm doing this slightly earlier than I normally would, so I want to make sure they have enough room, and hopefully I don't have to pot them up again before I actually put them out in the field. Okay, so like I said, because I don't know, these obviously I don't know what they are, but I have enough to, I think, do 2 seeds per pot, and I want to make sure that I do that because just to ensure that I'll get enough germination on them. This is really fun. The mystery of it when it comes in the summer, when they finally get up there and start blooming, that's the coolest thing. To just every single day when a new flower blooms, it's a new surprise, and it's so much fun. And you never know, we might get some, fantastic, amazing new cafe au lait type flower by the time this season is over. Okay, so really easy rule of thumb. Seed is 1/2 inch. I don't know, I'm not good at that. The seed is that big. We're gonna just put a little well in each of these pots. I'm actually gonna do a couple of them just to make sure. And pot them up, or place the seeds, cover them, definitely cover them. Most of this potting soil is very wet already, so I'm not gonna do a lot of watering. A little bit just to settle it in, but it's already pretty wet. And then they will go on to a heat mat. Dahlias are heat lovers. They are not interested in cold weather, though. In my zone, we're 8B. I have had dahlias from seed sprout out in the garden. The seeds have overwintered and popped up in the garden the next summer. So it's possible depending on where you live. Okay, in each one of these holes, I'm just putting 1 seed, so 2 per pot. I'm always a little nervous depending on, to make sure that I got actual viable seeds when I save my own. So just overcompensate, I guess. Okay, let me just get this part done. Okay, these are all potted up. I'm gonna put them on a heat mat over here. Keep them wet or damp. Dahlias don't want to be super wet, but they do need to stay moist while they're germinating. And then I will keep them on the warm side of the greenhouse for the rest of the season until things start going out. It's pretty exciting. Now, like I said, I've done hybridizing before. I've gotten a couple that I absolutely loved and I have saved tubers from since. One of them is called Emily Harriet, and it is this great big soft yellow dinner plate. It's so pretty. It's so big. The soft color I love. And it was a fairly decent tuber producer. I've had it for the last couple of years now. I'm gonna give it another year or two before trying to do anything else with it except just grow it on and play with it for myself in my own garden. Okay, I'm getting these on the heat mats. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is repot the feverfew. You see those little plants? I've talked about it a couple of times now. I sowed feverfew last fall into this tray. Well, it was late summer, into this tray to be able to plant it out in the fall and give it a chance. It's a hardy annual. Give it a chance to overwinter out in the field, and then come back strong this spring. However, for some reason unknown so far to me, I wasn't able to get more than these 3 plants. Like, that's all I got, this whole tray, which is a bummer, but you know, it happens. So I've got another batch of feverfew that I'm gonna start soon, but these ones where they've outgrown their tray and it's just a giant amount of space that I don't need to spend on these. So I'm gonna pot them up into 4-inch containers. And I think I'm looking at the 10-day forecast and probably, a couple weeks or so, I'll be able to start hardening off some of these hardy annuals and get them out into the gardens so that they're not in here taking up space under the grow lights. Okay, so I have this cute little shovel. It came in some kit for something, I don't even remember what it was. Normally I would use a butter knife, but I don't have one with me at the moment, so I'm gonna use this guy. So really it's just, I make a little well in the pot, and then I will scoop out the seedling. Yeah, see, the roots are all the way down on the bottom. Put it in here, settle it in, and that's it. She's done. She's pretty, huh? It's a healthy looking seedling. This one didn't have quite as much root. Tap it in there. Hello. And these guys, they're not gonna go onto a heat mat. They're a cool flower. They just want some sunshine and they'll be happy. So the last thing we're gonna do is plant these Victoria Butterhead lettuce into this pot. Like I said, it's cold and snowy and kind of miserable outside, so I'm craving something spring-like. So this is what we're gonna use. These don't need to be very warm to germinate. It says between 40 and 80 degrees. So anywhere in here is gonna be good enough. I'm gonna plant the seeds about 4 or a 1/4 inch deep. I'll just make little wells. And I think I'm gonna put 3 in this pot. Lettuce is a really shallow rooted plant in general. And I'm gonna end up cutting these and eating them before they get any kind of big. They'll be small. So I'm gonna put 3 in there just to be sure. And I wanna see what that looks like. I'm sure it'll be beautiful. I've said before, I tend to try and get all of my seeds from Territorial Seed Company. They're based out of Oregon and they're organic. Well, these seeds are organic, but the company itself is organic. This one really is just for me. We have lots of little seedlings, but this one is gonna be pretty sitting on the counter. Okay, so like I said, how to plant the lettuce. These particular seeds are a couple of years old, several years old. So I'm gonna put three spots in here, and I'm gonna put several seeds in each one. Oh, they only want to be like 1/8 of an inch, so little tiny wells. But I'm gonna put several seeds in each hole and hope for the best. We have plenty. Have you ever seen lettuce seeds? They are tiny. And I'll send these out if and when we get a bunch of germination. Can't wait. I'm so excited for that. It's gonna be so much fun. So the last thing I wanted to do in this video is to give you a greenhouse tour, because there's quite a bit going on even though it's early February. So let me turn the camera around and we'll walk through the whole place. All right, let's start over here. This is the north facing, the front door is right there. So just the only thing I want to show you over here, obviously, the tools and everything, but is that pot that we just did for the lettuce. I've got a couple of houseplants in here. This guy, and they've been here for years. And we'll just work our way around the perimeter. This guy is a lemon tree. We've had it for years. This is the first time I've actually ever seen lemons coming out of that. These two pots, I have some calla lilies that started. These are just for us to put in the landscape. And then you can see the trash bin, and that's the seed tray we just emptied. But these two are our scented geraniums that in the near future we will be taking cuttings from. I got some new lights here that I just need to string up and haven't had a chance yet. We did this a few days ago, the lilies and the acidanthera. They're all nice and cozy in there. And then this, I'm kind of embarrassed to show it, but these are some of the biennials that I started last year and they never made it out into the ground. This is Honesty, this is Foxglove, this is Sweet William, and then this is Canterbury Bells. These, in the next 2 weeks, every one of these I'm gonna harden off and get outside. The weather appears to be able to handle it. There's nothing over here. We did finally get the rest of the lights set up because it's about time. Here is some more scented geraniums. Oh, these are so good. Oh, they smell amazing. This we got from another farmer at the market. It's a coral colored salvia. We've just overwintered it in here. Can you see the color of that flower? It's so pretty. I did cut it back a bit. I'll probably get it out in the landscape this season. And then this is the chocolate. Oh, scented geranium, so cool. These are all of our seedlings, snapdragon seedlings that also didn't get out there. But again, like I said, 2 weeks, these are all going out. Now onto the seed trays, or the seed racks. We've got, this is just, you know, supplies, but this top row, this is all of our Lysianthus. Can you see those guys right there? Little ones? Most of these, it's amazing that they're so tiny, but a good lot of them, that's easier to see, have seedlings in them. There's quite a few in here. There's never as many as I would like, but there's quite a few. Look at these guys. I can't get it to focus. There it goes. All these guys. There's quite a bit. I'm really excited. I'm doing better so far than I have in years past. This whole row is snapdragons. Well, these 3 trays are snapdragons. It's about time I need to get in here and start thinning. But they seeded, or they came out pretty well. These are our eucalyptus And we started those at the same time as the Lysianthus, and they're so slow to grow. I think next week I'm gonna pot these up, give them more room, and get this tray out of here. This tray is all geraniums. Look at this. Those cute little geraniums. They're so much fun. They sprout really quickly and grow on really fast. We grow these for hanging baskets and just plants that we'd sell at the farmer's market and in our own landscape. This tray, these are all the perennials that we seeded for the pollinator garden. Nothing, no action yet. And these we just did. Those are the Dahlias. Up here, this is the artichokes that we just seeded and the bells of Ireland. Unsurprisingly, nothing going on yet. This one is foxglove. Oh, look at these little guys. They're doing good. We have action. This one is a fun one that we also grow just for the farmer's market. These are coleus. I need to thin these. But you can grow coleus from seed. And they germinate really easily. I'm super excited about this. Every year, I love that so much. These are our feverfew that we just did. Then these are all just some more alyssum and verbena and other seedlings that go for the hanging baskets. Same here. These are silene and violas. What's this one? Oh, African daisies. Yeah, they're all looking pretty happy. Same, more petunias and whatnot. This is the ice and poppies that we seeded together for the farm. I need to get in here in the next couple days and thin this out because these will probably go out in the next 2 weeks along with the rest of those. And then this is just more hanging basket plants, baby blue eyes, alyssum. Yeah, more alyssum. They're happy little plants. These are our dahlias that we potted up so that we could take cuttings. And I don't have, there's a little bit, you probably can't see it real well, but you see there's swelling right there, that little purple pink dot. They're finally starting to wake up. It took a while, but they're there. This is the clematis we just potted up. And then this is more of the perennials for the pollinator garden. Nothing yet on those. Look at these. These are all of our sweet peas. If you didn't watch that video and you want to grow sweet peas, go watch it because check this out. They grow so well. I'm gonna have to move these out of here and give them more space. And then these guys are more perennials that we've started. We've got scabiosa, Fama white and Fama blue. These are perennial varieties. And then these are some echinacea, the Cheyenne Spirit. Oh no, the Paradiso tall. These are just a mix. But look at, they're looking pretty happy. Some of them did not come up, but most of them did. So I'll take the ones that did. They're so cool. And then this guy, the last thing in here really is this lime tree. It defoliates every time we bring it in from outside for the winter, but it's okay. I just have to be careful with it because look at these wicked spikes. And I think that's about it for right now. All right, guys, I hope that was interesting. It was just a fun day to be in the greenhouse, working away, playing with plants, getting your hands in the dirt. I crave days like this, but it looks like that outside. So I'm glad you guys came along. If you liked it, hit a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions about any of the plants, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.